We are about to be mathematicians. Put your mathematician hats on. We are going to try to solve a problem. This will be hanging soon. We're going to try to solve a math problem when we don't know what it says. All we know is, how many cards did Joe have in his bag? So everybody just stop. Yeah. Oh yeah, and cards. Quickly. So we're going to take 1 full minute again. I really want you to be using your thinking brain today. And then we're going to turn and talk a little bit. And then we're going to try to solve this. How many cards does Joe have in his bag? I want you to be thinking about, what do we need to know to be able to solve this problem? Hands down, just think about it. And when you can start telling me, Chelsea, sit up. When you think you know what we need to know, tell me, and I'm going to start pulling off Post-it notes. Our goal is to get all the Post-it notes pulled off. So just take about 1 minute to think about that. What do we need to know to be able to solve this problem? Eyes. Eyes. What do you need to know? Aiden, what do you think you need to know to solve this problem? So you think we need to know who is in this story pod, right? Good. So I have to. So we need to know who's doing it. So Joe. Good. Oh. And we also need that. So we can take all of our Joes off. We need to know who. Who's in the story problem? Who? Joe. What else do we need to know? Sonona. If we're doing subtraction or addition.
And how much did he start off with?
I have a question. What do you think we're gonna do? Subtraction or addition? What's your first thought? How many cards did Joe have in his bag? You think it's gonna be addition? Yeah, I think so too. So. Oh, what is that word?
More.
More. What does that usually mean?
How many cards?
Samana?
It means like if there's
Trace.
10 bags and we need more and one number, it means should we add more? It means
So when you see more in an addition story problem, it's usually going to be addition, correct? You're trying to figure out more. What else do we need to know in this? Ava, what do you think?
no, these are item connections like this type of.
Oh, not right now. Shreyas?
But we have to find out how many cards do we.
So we need to know exactly how many. 13 more. So we need to know how many more we're adding to one. And what else do we need to know?
How many more, well, what he had before.
So we need to figure out what he had when he started with. So
Like,
I'm going to show you something though.
don't play.
Think about that. So Gannon just said we need to know what he had before. Joe had some playing cards in his bag. What can we do with that? What does that tell us? What do you think, Shreyas? Or Armando is getting so good at that.
If he probably had some, and probably he's been leaving some in his car.
Maybe. So when it says some, do we know how many? So what kind of problem is this going to be automatically? We kind of talked about it yesterday. Sonona? Well, it could do subtract. We could have to do subtraction to be able to find out that first number, right?
13.
So it could be addition and subtraction. So this is going to be, what is it called when it gives a sum? What kind of problem is this?
A missing number.
It's a missing number problem. So we're probably going to be starting with just blank, right? Because we don't know. So far we know Joe had some playing cards in his bag to start off with. We know 13 more something, I don't know. We know Joe is the person who started. We know that we're trying to figure out how many Joe has.
How many did he end up?
I will tell you that. So what else do you think we still need to know? Astrid.
How much do you had at the last time? Like,
So how many do you have at the end?
yeah.
So, good. Joe now has 21 cards. What does that word now? Why is that circled? Joe now has 21 cards. What does that mean? Hayden. If we are doing a number system.
He added the cards that he had with the 13 more cards to be able to get the 21.
That's perfect. So that's what, when it says Joe now has 21 cards, that's his total, right? That's now. That's present tense, right now. Perfect. What do we still need to figure out?
Oh, we need
Max.
the answer 8.
Oh, we're not doing the answer right now. We're still trying to get all the post notes off. What else do we still need to know? What could these be? Well, I'm going to take this one off because we know it's cards already, right? Chelsea.
We still need to figure out how many cards
So that's what we're trying to figure out, right? That's pretty much what our question is, right? Our question is how many cards did, that's past tense, right? In the past, how many cards did he have? And so that's why we did this first. We said some playing cards, so we have to figure that out. What's missing? What are we trying, how do we take these off? We've got to figure out what are we missing to be able to solve this problem. Lean, what do you think? Do you think that's how we'll start the problem? Good, but before we really start solving this problem, I need these to come off. How do we get them off? Ava.
Maybe they had a bigger number of cards, so when they minus 13,
So you think somebody else had more. Is that what you just said? There was another person in this story. We're trying to figure out who had more. And what do you think's underneath here?
13. How many she had?
Armando, thank you.
It says more, probably, he or her, it probably has 13 more.
Dave.
What did you say, Tayo?
I said Dave.
All right.
Her.
So I'm going to read this story probably. I want you all to think about it. Joe had some, we don't know how many, playing cards in his bag. Then Ashley was so kind and decided to give him 13 more cards. So now, today, Joe has 21 cards. How many cards did Joe have in his bag?
8.
So what would the number sentence be? I don't want the answer. I don't want the answer. What's the number sentence, Gannon?
21 minus 13.
Good. So that's what we're going to use to solve it. What's the first, though, number sentence we should write down? Before we do subtraction. Max?
13 plus what equals 21?
Good. 13 plus what or blank equals 21. And then, Gannon, how do we solve that type of missing number problem?
21 minus.
Turn it into a subtraction problem. We're using what we know to help us solve a missing number problem. So we switched it to subtraction. 21 minus 13. So again, we can't think about the answer yet. We figured out the number sentence. what could we draw to help us solve this? What model could we draw? Come on up. What? Hey. Don't talk to her. Come on up. Sorry, sweetie. Well, you could use a place value strategy to help you solve it, so that'd be a solution, how you solve it. But what kind of picture could you draw to help you solve this? So you could draw squares, maybe to represent cards. So how would you do that, Humana? Evan? Evan, no thank you. Your eyes need to be up here.
Why can't they all go to?
Because, no thank you. So first draw a bag. How many cards should we draw first to solve this? It says Joe now has 21 cards. So how many are we going to draw? We're going to draw 21 cards. And then what could we do with those 21 cards? Christian? Take away 13. So we could just cross them out. And that would give us our final answer of, raise your hand and tell me. 8. You guys can just whisper, shout it. 8. Good. So you guys just did an awesome job. We really talked through, we were being mathematicians of finding ways to solve this problem. Is it going to take this long to solve one problem every single time? No. Nope. I just want us to get in good practice of really talking about the problem, figuring out what you need to know to solve it. Okay? Do you have a question, Armando?
No, actually,
Can you hold on 1 second? Hello? Oh, I'm so sorry. 1 second. Just realized I did not start this morning. Alright, for the lunch number 1, pancakes and eggs, there was 6. For pizza, there's 4. Sun butter and jelly, there's 1. And hummus and vegetables, 1. Yep, thank you. Bye. Got Smith there. Alright, Armando, so sorry.
And if we do this again, probably we could get better at it, and we can do it a lot more quicker. But this was like probably our first.
This is our first time, so we get to talk more through it. Would you like to do more of these?
Yes.
I actually talked to Miss Wenning today, and either today or tomorrow or Friday, we're going to go in her classroom, and we're going to do a similar type problem, and you're going to be working with her class to figure it out. So it's going to be a little bit harder. Miss Wenning's class. So we're going to be being mathematicians all together. All right. So we're going to be sitting just for a couple of minutes. I have kind of a cool video to show you. While you're watching the video, no, during science. It's still math time. We have 10 more minutes of math time. Yeah, Kyle can turn off the light.
Armando, I'm right here. No.
Oh, I missed it. Ow.
Let's go now.
Hello.
Yeah, stand up really quick and do a quick stretch. Hey guys, away from the camera. Away from the camera. Everybody read.
Let's read for the